I was working with this young man on a nutritional approach to addressing the genetic SNPs. And he came to me with a very long list of supplements, and he kept asking me, what supplements should I be taking, and what supplement addresses this SNP and that SNP? And I think he actually wanted more supplements. And I told him multiple times that there's no one way of doing this, and that we have to observe and tweak and keep observing and tweaking. And that really the most important thing was the food. And I said to him many times, I said, look, it's all about the food. And I don't think he wanted to hear this. He was struggling, and I think he wanted these quick fix, magic bullet type answers that the supplements seem to provide. But over time, I think he finally figured it out, where he was struggling and the supplements weren't necessarily, solving all of his problems. So he decided to really take on eating super duper nutrient dense food, and I showed him how to do that. And then I didn't hear from him for about 2 months. And then he called me one day and he said, Jill, I've realized it's all about the food. And I was like, yes, that's right. It's all about the food. But it was great because he was spending all this money on supplements and they weren't really addressing his issues, which he was able to address very well using highly nutritious food. Who would have thought? My name is Jill Cruz. I have a Master of Science in Human Nutrition, and I'm a certified nutrition specialist. I've been working with a functional medicine doctor named Dr. Cheryl Leventhal for over 6 years. And I have done several of the trainings and the conferences that Dr. Ben Lynch offers regarding genetic SNPs and a lot more. Under the guidance of Dr. Leventhal and through the teachings of Dr. Ben Lynch and many others, I have developed an approach to addressing the genetic SNPs that is both holistic and conservative. I help people move slowly and carefully through the process and the adventure of discovering about their genetic SNPs. And I emphasize a less is more approach. Yes, the genetic SNPs are important and they give you some really valuable data. But there is so much more that is affecting our health than just the genetic SNPs. I believe that personalized nutrition is the next wave that's going to hit the health and nutrition world. Finally, people are waking up to the truth that there is no one way of doing things. I see it time and time again, whether it's supplements or dietary choices or exercise style or just the way you live your life. And although the health world pundits would have you believe differently, there is no one answer. If you have done genetic SNP testing or you're thinking about doing it and you expect that it's going to solve all your problems, you're probably going to be disappointed. If you think there's an easy answer or a quick fix, you're probably going to be disappointed. There is a place for genetic SNP testing, and that is as a source of data to inform and guide potential strategies to try. It's not the answer to all your problems. It informs the roadmap. Over the past 5 years, I have helped hundreds of people go through the genetic SNPs and approach it from a nutritional perspective. And if there's one thing that I've learned is that the SNPs are just one piece of the puzzle, and there's just a lot more going on, and the SNPs are really what could be. The SNPs are not what is happening, they are what may or may not be happening. Every person that I work with we have a different approach for each person, and we're going to look at the genetic SNPs, we're going to look at health history, current lifestyle practices and diet and supplements and medications, and all the issues that are going to make a complete picture of what's going on with this person at this time. And oh yeah, the genetic SNPs are also part of that picture. If you learn nothing else from me or from this website, I hope that it is that you should never, ever treat the genetic SNPs. Always look at what's going on with the individual. Look at the whole person and the entire situation. And this will guide you through the process. 9 times out of 10, it's about going back to the basics. Nutrition, food, lifestyle, meditation, stress management, exercise, physical activity, relationships. Oh yeah, and the SNPs. So we want to bring all of these things together, and that's what I do. And I love doing it because it really gets down to the core issues, as opposed to just coming in and picking one SNP like MTHFR and saying, oh, you need a bunch of methylfolate. That's really not the correct way to do it. And I think looking at the entire person, their situation, and each person gets their own unique approach. And that's the way that I, when I work with people, that's how I address the genetic SNPs. So if you're interested in working with me, please just, you can contact me through the contact page, and we can talk more.